G'day guys, this is Nick at Stridewise.com and I am at J Fitzpatrick, which is a store that focuses on dressy footwear with a twist in Soho, New York with Mr. Justin Fitzpatrick. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. My channel largely has been about boots and denim and casual stuff, and lately I've been getting more interested in loafers. And it started out as just a way to wear nice footwear with shorts and a t-shirt in summer, like still casual. But loafers can also get more and more dressy, and the dressier you get, the more controversial it can be. I wanted to get your feelings about, can you wear loafers with a suit? You are wearing a three-piece suit with loafers.
Yes. As I've worn today, and as you can see, I do believe you can wear loafers with a suit. You know, in every culture in different countries you find yourself in, like in America, guys on Fifth Avenue wearing bit loafers with suits. In England, you'll find guys wearing sharp penny loafers with a chisel ass with their suits. In France, it was created the Andy Berluti loafer, and lots of guys in Paris are wearing those with suits.
And ties.
And ties,
okay,
and everything. And then you go to Italy, that's the king of brown suede loafers with navy suits and ties.
Maybe it's anti-traditional and maybe heresy to a lot of the upper class or the older people. Like if you're of the angle, I want to just do classic stuff, should you maybe avoid loafers with a suit? Is it a bit too modern, I guess is my question.
When I lived in London, and there'll be the guys who will strictly wear black shoes in the city.
Yeah,
and
no
probably
brown
wouldn't
shoes.
wear loafers either.
Yeah.
But I just think the world's changed so much, even those guys relax a little, especially as you get older. You know, nobody wants to bend over and lace when you're 60 and 70 years old.
But to a lot of people, that's like a slippery slope. What's next? Sweatpants to work?
I think the loafer is a natural model to transition from a guy who hasn't entered dress shoe world, comes from a sneaker world, now is entering a corporate world, and the Oxford just feels too formal for him. It's not a natural transgression to that life, so they start at the loafer and then they work their way up to being more classic.
I want to get like some do's and don'ts of loafers. A lot of guys love wearing loafers without any socks at all. What if you're in a suit?
With a suit, I don't think so. You must have socks.
What if it's like this? Let's say I'm not wearing a tie. Could I go sockless with this?
With more casual trousers, maybe without a crease, but if they have a crease in the city, like New York, it's not as an amazing look. And I'm not gonna lie, I wear sockless loafers, but I wear with jeans or chinos and a polo,
right?
Because not a jacket.
We're talking about, can you have loafers with suits? The answer is already controversial to say yes.
Yeah.
Going sockless, that's another layer of controversy you should probably avoid. Here's a question that I was thinking this morning. The color of the sock, should it be the same color as the pants or the same color as the loafers?
This depends on your level of style expertise. I think starting out, if you're new to this world, you should always match your trouser.
I got stripes here, so I sort of didn't do that.
Well, I mean, it's tonal with your trouser. And so what that does is elongate your leg and also put focus on the shoe, as opposed to focus on your ankle region.
The other day, I wore these loafers with same colored pants, but the socks were the same color as the loafer.
That's okay too. It'll shorten your leg. It'll take attraction away from the shoe because now you're more tonal in that whole region.
Sure.
It's not wrong. I do that on occasion as well. I
Okay.
didn't today. Today I matched the suit.
Wacky colors and patterns on your socks with your loafers?
I stray away from wacky patterns. Every now and then I'll do a slightly bold pattern, but I don't get crazy. I don't do polka dots or anything. A bright color, sure, in summer. In winter, everything's a little bit more subdued, a little bit darker. In summer, on a nice day, I'll wear an orange sock, a pink sock, and you just kind of have to know your tones at that point.
Well, this is a good segue to types of leather. I feel like a lot of people, when they think loafer, they think brown suede. If you're wearing a suit and tie, going to the office, let's say New York, what's a good leather to go with?
It's completely up to you. I personally love suede because I just find it goes with everything in the wardrobe, from suits to casual.
Suede that's a casual leather. Brown suede and loafers with a suit and tie. Is that not sort of three different types of risk you're adding in there?
We'd have to ask all the Italians in Italy.
Americans we're in the US,
stylish
brown suede loafers with a suit and tie.
Leather is easier for people who are not doing this daily. Black is very, again, European. I got guys who ask me, do you wear black with navy? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, don't you think you should wear brown? And I'm like, well, either you can wear either, really. Black is always going to be more conservative, more classic. Brown's a bit more modern. I think a dark brown is probably the easiest, safest leather.
Sometimes I think I should name this channel uncontroversial style. Because like the questions that I'm coming up with are like, all right, but let's assume it's a big corporation, the CEO is 70 years old, You're really trying to make a good impression. You don't want to accidentally make anyone think you're a little too dressed down. You just want to play it as safe as you possibly can. And we're in the United States, and you're wearing loafers with a suit. Should you keep it smooth, glossy leather?
Yeah.
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 If you're playing it safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. If we're really giving advice to guys new into this world, classic models, penny loafer, leather, calfskin, safe. Yeah.
Yeah, and black if it's with a suit.
I don't think that's as a big a deal here in America. I help all these people, and a lot of them don't wear the black with their suits. They wear brown. They think black just goes with black, and I'm just like, oh, black goes with navy. Black goes with gray.
Let's talk about types of loafers. Talk about how they would go with a suit and tie. What is a penny loafer?
Penny loafer is a loafer that has a strap, whether it's a strap just on the vamp or a full strap, and it has in the strap basically a slit, where in the old school days they put an actual penny inside the slit, hence the term penny loafer. Now you don't find the pennies, of course. The pennies loafers are actually more closer to what you have, but now it's just your strap loafer with the slit that comes in all various shapes and sizes. This in a dark brown or a black is a very easy to wear model. In fact, it's one of our top sellers in the leather form, especially the dark brown.
And then there's the subcategory of penny loafer, right? Which is what I've got here. This is you call this a Beefroll loafer, right?
Yeah.
So that's when you got these bunches of leather here. That just dresses it down a lot, I think, when it's Beefroll. This makes it easy to wear with shorts if that's what you want, because some people worry that a loafer could be too dressy to wear with their shorts. We're talking about suits. Chunky Beefroll on the side.
No suits.
Don't do it. What about Gucci loafers, also known as
Bit loafers?
bit loafers,
Yeah.
also known as horse bit loafers.
Yeah. So the bit loafer is characterized by this metal horse bit.
That's what you used to put in a horse's mouth to move the, not used to, they still do that, I guess, yeah.
This was highly popularized by Gucci and many of the Italian designer brands. Ferragamo also does a ton of them. But the classic Gucci bit loafer is the most world recognized bit loafer. The bit loafer got its fame mainly in New York.
You're right, it's funny, yeah, Gucci is Italian, but yeah, it's a very American associated look. But when you see a bit loafer, you think of Wolf of Wall Street or Michael Douglas' Wall Street stuff, like it's 80s Wall Street guys.
Yeah.
I would think the bit loafer would be, at least in the United States, the one that's the most associated with suits.
At the very least, New York, 100%. The black bit loafer is a New York shoe for a guy wearing a suit.
I might sometimes struggle with the idea of even wearing a black penny loafer with a suit. I would more easily do that with a bit loafer than a black penny loafer.
Now we're going to where you are, because in England it would be the opposite.
I never know what to think about bit loafers that are not black. I saw a guy in suede, like brown suede bit loafers the other day. I didn't know what it meant. What do you think about that?
I actually love a brown suede bit loafer. It's far more casual. Wearing that with a suit, again, you'd have to be very confident in your attire.
I can't see it. Maybe a blue suit without a tie. Brown suede bit loafer? Nah, tell me a bit about Tassel loafers.
It's funny because I feel like they have very different histories from America to the UK. The Tassel loafer, at least when I grew up, born in the 80s, at my age you thought, oh, Tassel loafers is what my dad wore, terrible. And the Tassel loafers then, in my opinion, weren't so attractive. They were very short vamped with super round toes, or they were quite beefy. There's famous brands like Bostonian that made these chunky Tassel loafers. But then I moved to England, where, you know, Crockett & Jones Cavendish is like the most famous shoe in all of the UK, and everybody has one, and they're all wearing them with suits. Yeah. But I think the Tassel loafer in the US is slightly coming back, but in a casual way, and a more like you can dress it down with jeans and a polo. You don't see a lot of guys wearing Tassel loafers with suits in America. That was a product of like my father's generation. Whether you should do it or not is kind of subjective. It's how confident you are in pulling it off. I love loafers, so I wear them with everything, suits included, so it's hard for me to say don't do it. It's don't do it if you're not comfortable, but it can be done.
I mean, the uncomfortable fact is all of this is subjective, and so none of what we're saying is useful to anyone, because 100% of it, you can wear sweatpants and a trench coat if you want to, but
sadly.
It's all made up. One more type of loafer, the Wholecut loafer. This is also called the Venetian loafer, is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
In America, more Venetian. Outside of America, Wholecut or slipper, actually.
Yeah, and when you call it a slipper, it sounds like you definitely can't wear it with a suit.
Yeah,
now this has some broguing here, but let's assume there's no broguing.
Adding that medallion, funny enough, makes it more business-like.
I got a Wholecut loafer here. This is a nice smooth black leather. Let's say there's no broguing. With what you're wearing here, a 3-piece gray suit, is this gonna be okay with it?
With no brogan? I guess. I don't think
That's a no.
I don't think I'd wear this loafer in black with no brogan. I'd wear it in brown or casual colors.
Okay, but not with a suit.
If it's black, I think the medallion needs to be there, or else it just looks funny in my opinion. I saw a lot of these to guys for wedding shoes who just want a clean as possible loafer, and they want something that they could technically wear later with their suit.
And if it doesn't have a medallion, it's gonna be like wider and roomier and more casual, like more firmly casual.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
definitely.
it'll be quite clear to you that it's not for a suit. All right, well, listen, Jay Fitzpatrick is in Soho.
101 Thompson Street.
Come down here for classic loafers and also loafers with a twist and everything else with a twist. And subscribe here as well for more stuff on
Thank you.
casual and business casual and maybe even professional stuff that lasts a long time.
Definitely.